conference
今天我们
organized
继
by
续
the
举行
Publicity
中国这10
Department of
年
the
系
CPC
列新闻
Central
发布会。
Committee,
我们
and
请
we
到
will have
中央
another
纪委
one
国家
of
监
the
委宣传部
series
部长
China in the
王
past
建新
decade
先
press
生，
conference. Today we are
中
happy to
央
have
组织
with
部
us
部委
Mr.
员
Wang
许家
Jianxin,
斌先生，
Mr. Qi Jiabin,
中央政策研究室副
and
主任
Mr.
田
Tian
培炎先
Peiyan.
生。
Mr. Wang is Director
请
of
他们为大家
Publicity
介绍
Department of the
坚
Central
持
Commission
党
for
的全面领
Discipline
导
Inspection
和
of the
全面从
CPC,
严治党有关情
and
况，
Mr.
并
Qi is
回答
member of the
大家感兴
Ministerial
趣的
Board
问
of
题。
the Organization Department
下
of
面我们
CPC
首先
Central
请王
Committee,
建
and
新
Mr.
先
Tian
生
is
做介
Deputy
绍。
Director of the Policy Research Office of the CPC Central Committee. Now, first opening remarks from Mr. Wang. Ladies and gentlemen, friends from the media, good morning. It is a great pleasure for me to attend today's press conference. Allow me to first give you a brief introduction to relevant information. Since the 18th Party Congress, socialism with Chinese characteristics has entered a new era. The past 10 years were 10 years of conviction, strong efforts, and remarkable achievements. Under the leadership of General Secretary Xi Jinping, the party has found the second answer to break the historical cycle of rise and fall in the context of long-term governance and put forth the strategic thinking of the party's self-reform. In the new era, the CPC Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, has resolutely exercised self-reform, advanced full and strict governance of the party with a strong initiative, and promoted the great project of party building in the new era with a firm will to serve the people and reform the party. It has put enhancing the party politically front and center, strengthened the party's soul through education on ideals and conviction, improved the style of members through strict discipline, and fought corruption and wrongdoings with swift and strong measures. It continues to enhance the political function, organizational capacity, and cohesion of party organizations, and build a framework of rules for the party to improve and reform itself and maintain its integrity. Thanks to these efforts, our party has been forged into a strong party that strictly follows the leadership and instructions of the Central Committee, a party devoted to and supported by the people, a party that shares will and war with the people, and a pioneering, enterprising, and useful party that dares to break the waves and overcome the serious challenges it faces. As an important force in promoting the party's self-reform, we in the discipline, inspection, and supervision ranks have consistently studied and implemented Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, supervised the whole party in enhancing the four consciousnesses, strengthening confidence in four aspects, and following the two upholds, and followed through on the strategy of full and strict self-governance of the party. We have fully leveraged the strength of supervision in ensuring implementation and improving development, worked to deliver high-quality results in discipline, inspection, and supervision, and provided strong and effective service for China's modernization. Under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee, after the 18th Party Congress and by the end of last April, disciplinary inspection and supervision organs across the country have filed a total of 4.388 million cases, investigating 4.709 million people. We handled 723,000 cases involving violation of the 8-point regulation on party conduct and took disciplinary action against 644,000 people. As China embarks on a new journey of fully building a modern socialist country and achieving the second centenary goal, the disciplinary inspection and supervision organs will stay committed to its responsibilities in advancing the party's self-reform, proactively respond to the new developments and challenges in the fight against corruption, and persevere in improving party conduct and fighting corruption, so as to achieve new results in exercising full and strict self-governance of the party and ensure the party remains the strong leadership core for socialism with Chinese characteristics. Thank you.
好，下面我们请齐嘉宾先生做介
And now
绍。
I'll give the floor to Mr. Qi for opening remarks.
大家上午好，下面
Friends from media, good morning.
组织工作的情
Allow
况
me
向大家
to
做
give
一
you
个
a
介绍。
brief review of the past decades' organizational work.
贯彻
Since
新
the
时代
18th
党的
Party
建设
Congress,
总
the
要求
organizational
和新
organs
时
have
代
followed
党
the
的
general
组织路线，
guidelines of party
坚持党
building
的
and the
全面
party's
领导和
organizational
全面
line in
从
the
严
new
制度，
era.
聚焦
Upheld the
主
party's
责主
overall
业，
leadership and
突
full
出
and
问题
strict
导向，
self-governance of the
强化
party,
担当作
focused
为，
on their main
不断
tasks
取
with
得
a
新
highlight
的
on
进展、
addressing
新成就。
problems, and achieved new progress
一
with a
是
strong
党的
sense
创新
of
理论武装
responsibility.
扎实推进，
First,
把
solid
深入学习贯
progress
彻
in
批评
equipping
新时
party
代
members
中
with
国
new
特色社会
theories.
主义思想，
In-depth study
首
and
要
implementation
政
of
治任务。
Xi Jinping thought on
肩
socialism
负
with
开
Chinese
展了5次
characteristics for a
党
new
内集
era
中
is
教
the
育，
primary
办好
political
省部级
task.
主要领导干
We
部
carried
专
out
题研
5
讨
whole
班、
party learning
中
programs,
青年干部
meticulously
培训
organized
班
key
等重
courses
点
like
班次，
special workshops for
分
ministerial
析
officials
对党员
and
干部
training
进行
programs
系
for
统
young
培训，
cadres, and
引导党
provided
员干
several
部
rounds
深
of
刻领悟
systematic training
2
for
个
party
确立的
members
决定性意
in
义，
order to guide
坚
party
持做到
members and
两个维
cadres
护。
to fully appreciate
4
the
年来，
decisive
中央组织
significance
部
of the
直
two
接组织培
establishes
训
and
干部
follow the two upholds.
21.4万
Over
人
the
次。
past 10 years, the organizational
2是
department
党的组织体
directly
系
trained
更加严密。
214,000
截至
people.
2021年12月
Second,
31
we had a more
日，国民
rigorous
党已有
organizational
党
system
员
of the party.
9671
As of December
点
31st,
2万人，
2021, the CPC
基层
has
党组织
96.712 million members and
4年来，着眼维护
4.936
党中
million
央权威
primary level
和集中
organizations.
统一领导
Over the past
严厉
decade,
上下贯
focusing
通
on
执行
upholding the
有力的
authority and
组织体
centralized
系，
and unified leadership of the CPC Central Committee,
持续
we
用
have
力抓
worked
基层、
to,
强基础、固基
to
本、抓
foster
党建，
an effective
促和平
organizational
攻坚，
structure that has
促
smooth
乡村
connections
振
between
兴，
different
强化党
levels,
建引
continue
领，
to focus on the
城市基
grassroots
层
and
治理，
strengthen the
推
foundation,
动各领域
strengthen
基
the
层
role
党
of
组
the
织
party
全面
building
进步，
in the battle against poverty,
全面
in
过
rural
硬，
revitalization, and in guiding
切
primary
实抓
level
好
governance
发
of
展
cities,
党员
and
和
it
党员
contributed
教
to
育
the
管理工作，
comprehensive progress
扎实
by
推进
primary
党
level
旗在基层一
organizations.
线，高
We
额发扬
earnestly
活
carried
动，
out the work
和
on
我为
recruiting
行
new
动办
members
实
and the
事
education
实
and
践活
management
动。
of party members and
党的
launched
组织优
primary
势
level
在
activities
一
to
同
serve
防
the
控、
ordinary
和
people.
平攻坚
The
等
party's
重大任务
organizational
中
strength
得到
was
充分彰
especially
显。
visible in fighting
党
COVID-19
员
and
先锋模
poverty
范作用
alleviation,
得到充
and the
分发挥。
vanguard and exemplary
3是高
exemplary
素
role
质
of
专
party
业
members
化
were
干部
fully
队伍建设
demonstrated.
有力有效。
3.
坚持新
We
时代
have
好干
made
部标准，
effective
统筹推
work
进
in
素质培
fostering
养，
a high
知
quality and
识、识
professional
人，选拔任用，
workforce.
从
We
严
have
管
upheld
理，
the criteria
正
for
向激
good
励，
officials
大
in the
体
new
系建
era
设，
and developed the 5
着
systems
力
for
锻
fostering
造
good
政治过硬、
qualities,
具备领导
qualification
现代
check,
化建设
selection
能
and
力的
appointments
干
of
部队伍，
officials, strict management
改
and
进干部
incentives,
选拔任用，
so as to
突出
forge
政治素质
officials
考察，
with strong
坚持
political
德才
qualities
兼备，以
and
德
the
为
ability
先，
to
任
lead
人为
modernization.
贤，坚持事业为上，以事
We have
责人，
improved the selection and
人事
appointment
相
work,
宜。
adopting an approach that
一大批
prioritizes
忠诚
political
干净担
qualities,
当的好干部
integrity, and
被及
results
时发现
to
出来，
ensure that the
启
right
用起来。
people are selected.
坚持
This has
严管
helped us
后外结合，
identify
加
and
强干部
mobilize
治
a
理，
large number of
管理
loyal,
监督，
clean, and responsible
激
officials.
励广
We
大
have
干部
combined
新时代
strict
新
management
担
with
当、
caring,
新作为的
strengthened
激
daily
励，
management and
和有
supervision
关
of
具
the
体措
officials,
施，
and introduced measures to encourage officials to
贯彻
take new
实施公务员
responsibilities
法，
and new
建立
actions in
并
the new
实施公
era.
务员
We have
职务与
implemented the
职
civil
级
servant law
并行制
and
度，
put in
激发
place
广
a
大干部
parallel
干
system
事
of
创业
civil
积极
servants'
性、
positions
主
and
动性、
ranks,
创造性。
thus bringing out the enthusiasm and
4是
creativity
新
of
时代
officials.
人才工作创新突
Fourth,
破，
we made new
深入实施
breakthroughs
新时代人
in
才
talent
强国
work
战
in the
略，
new era. We
加快
carried
建
out
设
the
世界重
strategy
要
of
人才
developing
中
a
心
quality
和创
workforce
新
in
高
the
地。
new era and
目
moved
前，我国
faster
人
to
才
build
资源
world-class
总量
hubs
达到
for talent and
2.2亿人，
innovation. At present, China's talent pool has reached
5是党的建设
220
制
million
度
people.
改革
Fifth,
纵
we
深
have
推进，
taken the
持续深
reform
化党的
of
组织制
party
度、
building
干部人
institutions
事制
to
度、
greater
基
depths.
层组织
We
建设
continue
制
to
度、
deepen
人才
reforms
发
of the
展体
party's
制体制改
organizational
革，
system,
党
personnel
的组织
system,
工作
primary
日益
level
制度
organization
化、
building
规
system,
范化、
and talent
科学
cultivation
化。
system. The party's party's organization work is increasingly institutionalized,
好，下面我们请
procedure-based,
钱培炎
and
先生做介
rationally
绍。
conceived. Now, Mr.
各位
Tian,
媒体朋
please.
友，大家上午好。下面我
Friends
简
from
要
the
介绍一
media,
下
good
10年
morning.
来坚持和加强党的全面领导
I will
的
now
主
give
要
you a
成就。
briefing about the main achievements
党的
in
18
party
大以
building
来
of the past decade.
以习近平同
Since
志
the
为
18th
核心的
Party
党中央采取一
Congress,
系列重
the
大战
CPC
略
Central
举措，
Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at the
坚持
core
和加强
has
党的全面
adopted
领
a
导，
series of
着力
major
解决
strategic
过去一个时
measures
期
to
落实
strengthen
党的领
all-round
导弱
party
化、
leadership
虚化、
and address the
淡化、
problems
边缘
of
化问题，
weak, ineffective,
取得重
diluted,
大政
and
治成果、
marginalized
理
efforts
论成
in
果、
upholding party
制度成
leadership.
果，
In this process, we have achieved major political, theoretical, institutional, and practical gains. Political-wise, the decisive significance of two establishments is now fully appreciated by the public. Based on an incisive summary of the practice of the socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era, the 6th plenary session of the 19th CPC Central Committee has proposed that the party has established Comrade Xi Jinping's core position on the Party Central Committee and in the party as a whole, and established the guiding role of Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era. This reflects the common will of the party, the armed forces, and Chinese people of all ethnic groups. This major conclusion has become a consensus of the whole Chinese population. Theoretical-wise, a number of new thoughts, new ideas, and new conclusions on overall party leadership have been proposed, which include the leadership of the Communist Party of China is the defining feature of socialism with Chinese characteristics, and the greatest strength of the system of socialism with Chinese characteristics, and that the party is the highest force for political leadership. The party exercises overall systematic and integrated leadership, which must be manifested in all areas, all aspects, and the whole process of the party and state's undertakings. The centralized, unified leadership of the Central Committee is the highest principle of the party's leadership, and upholding and strengthening this is the common political responsibility of all party members. In upholding party leadership, all party members must first and foremost take a clear stance in maintaining political integrity to ensure that the whole party obeys the Central Committee. These theoretical outcomes have enriched the Marxist theories on party building and deepened our understanding of the rules of governance by a Communist Party. Institutional-wise, a set of full-fledged institutions on party leadership have been formed, which include the party's leadership system has been identified as a fundamental leadership system of the country. The institutions for upholding the centralized party leadership have been further strengthened. The institutions for party leadership of the People's Congresses, the government, the CPC, the supervisory, judiciary, and the procuratorial organs of the state, the armed forces, people's organizations, enterprises, and public institutions, primary level people's organizations for self-governance, and social organizations have improved. And all these mechanisms have provided robust guarantee for the party to exercise overall leadership and coordinate efforts of all parties. Practical-wise, the party's leadership has become more robust, and the political consciousness of all party members in strengthening for consciousness, upholding for confidences, and doing to uphold have been raised to unprecedented levels. And the authority and centralized leadership of the party has been further strengthened. The party has significantly boosted its capacity to provide political leadership and give governance through theory, organize the people, and inspire society. Thank you. Now the floor is open for questions. Please identify your media affiliations before asking your question.
谢谢。那个我的问题主要是提给那个齐委员的。刚才您在发布的时候也介绍了，到2021年底，中国共产党的基层党组织达到了493.6万个，党员总数达到了9671.2万个。那么是名副其实的世界第一大党。请问一下，这么大的一个党，这么多的党，咱们进行管理。
party members. So the CPC is number one or the biggest political party in the world. How can the party manage so many party members, and how can party members play their role? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your
刚才说
question.
的这个问题啊，社会还是非常的关注啊。
Your question
这
is
个我
of
们昨
huge
天
interest
就这
in
个
society.
我们党员的发展情况，以及我们基层组织的工作情况，统计工
So
作。
yesterday we released information
大家也
on
看到了啊，
the
有关的发布的情况。
the head count of our
正
party
像这位
membership.
记者朋友讲的啊，作为一个拥有我们目前的党员，
Like you said, now we have more than 60 or more than 96.7 million party
达到了
members.
这个493.6万个啊，作为
And
一个
we
具有
have
全球影响力、重大
4.936
影响力
billion
世界第一大
primary
政党
level party organization. So that makes the CPC the largest governing party in the world.
党始终高度重视对党员的教育
Our
管理。
party always attaches high importance to education and management of party members. Since the 18th Party Congress, the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core has comprehensively advanced the full and
加
strict
强党员的这个
self-governance
教
of
育
the
管理监督工
party,
作，确实保持了党员的先进性和
enhanced
纯洁性。
education for party
以下几
members
个方面
to ensure the vanguard
给大家做一下介绍。
nature and purity of
一
party
是强化党的创
membership.
新理论
The
武装。
first, we strengthened
我们把学习贯彻习近平新时代中
new
国特色社
theories
会
of
主
the
义思想
party.
作为首
The
要的政
primary
治任务。
task is to study and implement the Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era. Through party-wide education programs and regular education programs, we have used large training programs, core study groups, reading sessions, and themed lectures to guide party members and cadres to read original texts and fully appreciate the decisive significance of the two establishes and follow the two upholds. This has allowed the whole parties to have a unified will and strong conviction and act in coordination with strong efforts. Second,
我们
we
要
have
求认真落实
strictly
参会
exercised
一
the
课
rules
主题
on
党日等制度
intra-party
开会
life.
民主生活会
We
和组织
endlessly
社会
carried
会
out regular meetings and
开展
lectures of
民主
party
声誉党员
organizations
共
and
同
held
批评
meetings to
和
do
自我批
reviews
评
of party members and carry
广
out
大党员在
criticism
组
and
织生活的大任务中
self-criticism.
不断
And
推
through
荐
these
出
activities,
坚决
our
先锋
party
战士
members have been able to be forged
但是
into
加强
vanguard
对党员
fighters.
的激励帮扶和
Third,
关怀工
we
作
have strengthened
在政治建
incentives
党100
and
周年的
support
时候，这个
and
党中央
help
授予
for
了29
relevant
名同
party
志记忆
members.
勋章。
As we celebrated the centenary of the party last year, the CPC Central Committee gave the July the 1st medal to 29 comrades and gave 400 party members outstanding party member awards and gave 300 party affairs workers award of excellence. And we also gave National Excellence Award for primary level party organizations to 499 organizations. We also, for the first time, gave commemorative medals for 50 years of membership in the party.
应该说是
These have contributed to greater
几句
morale.
话可以哈，先做一个总体的概括。
Also, we
就是平常的时候
strengthened
只要看得出来，
disciplinary actions
关键
to
的时候
the
要站出来
unqualified party members.
危机的关头
I
要
think
活
there
得
are
出来。广大共产
a
党
few
员
points that can
发挥
summarize
先锋模范作用的，
the role
生动
of
地写照。
CPC members. That is to
一个是就在日常工作中
that in
要履
daily
职尽
life
责。
you will be able to
我们结
recognize
合
that
不同
the
群体党
conduct
员的
of
实
a
际情
CPC
况
member.
啊，通过
And
设
in
立
critical
党员的
times,
先
CPC
锋党，
members will
责任区的
must be able to
把党员先
step
进和优
forward.
秀的品质特
The
质
first in daily
体现
work,
到具体的生
party
产、
members
经
working
营
in
管
different
理、服
sector
务等各个工作的岗
have
位上。
adapt
二是在为民服务
have
啊，这个中要主动作为，
used their strong
建立
qualities
健
to
全党员
contribute
承诺
to
建
the
立
work
制度、志愿服务
production,
机制
management, and
组织在职的
services
党
in their
员到
areas.
社
And
区基
second,
层去
we
报道
have encouraged
开展我为
the
群
party
众办
members
实事，
to take the initiative to serve the people
解决群
through
众艰难处
voluntary
判的
mechanisms
问题，
and
让群众感受到党员就
primary
在身
level
边，党
activities.
组
They have
织
been able to
就
serve
是群众的
ordinary
底线。
people in communities to help them
凡是在
address
重大任务中
the
要
urgent
冲锋在
needs
前，面对我们
so that the people will feel that the
疫情
party
防
is
控
by their
和平
side
攻坚
whenever they in
抢险
need.
救灾
And third,
重大项目攻
party
关
members must to
等一
step
些
forward
极难险重的任务，
in major
广
tasks.
大党员
For
勇挑
example,
重
in
担攻
fighting
坚克难，
COVID-19,
充
in
分展示了
reducing
新时代
poverty,
共产党
in
员的先
disaster
锋的形
relief
象。
and mitigation,
比如在
and major
2020年，在打
projects,
赢疫情
the
防控阻击
party
战
members have
有
stepped
2977.1
forward to
万
shoulder
名党员
major
疫情
responsibilities.
出征
In
奋战在抗
2020,
疫一线。
at the front line
等等。
against
应该
COVID-19,
说，在
more than
这些方面，
29
我们党员
million
都充分
party
发挥了
members
先锋模范作用。
engaged in the fight,
就
and they fully demonstrated the vanguard role of party members.
好，请继续提问。
That concludes my answer. Thank you very much.
好，还是第一排吧。
Next question.
对，这位男记者。
好，谢谢主持人。新华社记者提问。
Thank you.
我的问题
Xinhua News
想提给
Agency.
王部长。
My question goes to Mr. Wang.
新时代党治国理论的一个鲜明特征。那么，如何看待全面全市党
Strict and full self-governance of the party is a distinct feature for party building in the new era. How do you see the historic achievement of this initiative?
Thank you for your question. Having the courage to conduct self-revolution and exercising full and rigorous governance of the party is the most salient character of the Communist Party of China. This year marks the 10th year since the 18th Party Congress. As we often say, it takes 10 years to sharpen a sword. In view of the two centenary goals and the strategy of great national renewal, the CPC Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at the core, has incorporated full and rigorous governance of the party into the four comprehensive strategies. The Party Central Committee has advanced the building of party integrity and the fight against corruption with unprecedented political courage and strategic perseverance. 10 years on, the political guidance and a political guarantee for full and rigorous party governance has been brought into full play, and the tendency of weak and ineffective party governance has been fundamentally reversed, and the party has been tempered stronger in this whole process. Well, first, the Party Central Committee has unequivocally upheld the party's overall leadership, and the two upholds have become the highest political principle. The leadership of the Communist Party of China is the most salient feature of socialism with Chinese characteristics, and also the greatest strength of this system. The party is the highest political leading force. Under the centralized leadership of the Party Central Committee, we have reshaped the leadership system, strategic goals, organization structure, and responsibility system for exercising full and rigorous governance of the party. And the party has also demonstrated unrivaled leadership, mobilization, and execution ability. It has proved to be a reliable backbone for the Chinese people in rains and winds. Second, we have exercised the steering role of political building and a fundamental role of ideological building, and the party has maintained its political nature in complicated and strenuous struggles. Politically, we have strengthened political discipline and rules, enhanced political supervision in line with the fundamental interests of the country, regulated intra-party political life, and purified the political ecosystem within the party. Now, all party members have fully appreciated the decisive significance of two establishments and become more conscious in upholding the four consciousness, four confidences, and two upholds. And through these efforts, the party members have strengthened their belief and conviction in the party's vision and theories. Thirdly, we have unswervingly fought against corruption and cleaned the virus that is eroding and damaging the health of the party. We have taken a coordinated approach in improving party conduct and strengthening party discipline. Since the 18th Party Congress, or to be specific, as of the end of April this year, the supervisory organs have investigated 4.388 million cases involving 4.709 million people. The supervisory organ has admonished, educated, and helped 11.344 million people or person times with 4 forms of oversight, including 6.951 million person times using the first form, 61.3% of the total, 3.341 million person times using the second form, 29.4% of the total, 0.565 million person times using the third form, 5% of the total, and 4.87 million person times using the fourth form, 4.3% of the total. The anti-corruption campaign has saved the party and strengthened the foundation of party governance. Fourthly, we have strengthened the institutional basis for the party's self-revolution and the supervisory system of the party's centralized leadership and for enhancing the party's authority has been further strengthened. We have governed the party in line with rules and systems, and now we have a multidimensional intra-party regulation system with the party charter at the foundation and also covering the organization rules, leadership rules, and the rules concerning party building and supervision. We have deepened the reform of the supervisory system, and we have established supervisory commissions at 4 levels: provincial, county, municipal, national, provincial, municipal, and county levels. That has enabled us to ensure full coverage of all party members and public servants. Through these efforts, we have opened new grounds for the party's self-revolution. The party has gained a new vitality, and people have gained stronger confidence in the party as well.
好，这边吧，后面第4排那位男记者，对。
谢谢主持人，我是韩国朝鲜日报记者。企业的经营活动应该受制于法律。然而，有人认为，加强党的全面领导会对企业的创新活动或者是长期投资造成负面影响。
People know that the business operations of enterprises must be subject to law, but some people are worried that strengthening overall party leadership may have a negative impact on companies' innovation and long-term investment, and also given the long-term global challenges like a low mortality rate and sluggish economy. Do you think the party's leadership can solve these problems? Well, I will answer your questions. The leadership position of the Communist Party of China is determined by China's constitutional laws. The party leads the people in formulating and exercising constitutional law, and also acts within the scope of constitutional law. Abiding by law is consistent with upholding party's leadership. Development is the paramount priority for the party to govern the country, and economic development is also a central task for the party. So, in exercising overall leadership, it is only natural for the party to focus on economic development. By proposing development concepts, formulating major development strategies and plans, and setting out major policies and guidelines and major arrangements, the party is leading and promoting the development of the economy and providing the foundation for the sustained and healthy development of the economy. That all companies are benefiting from the leadership of the party. In this sense, as far as state-owned enterprises are concerned, the overall leadership of the party is the fundamental guarantee and a unique strength for them to develop and grow. And over the years, the party leadership has enabled state-owned enterprises to achieve visible results. In 2021, the total assets, profits, and the business revenue of state-owned enterprises increased by 117.53%, 95.65%, and 66.15% respectively over 2015. In particular, the party's leadership has played a vital role in helping these companies overcome major and critical technologies. Well, as far as non-public enterprises are concerned, the party is also encouraging, supporting, and guiding their development. The party has adopted a series of measures to support the healthy growth of the non-public sector of the economy. Now we have over 570,000 primary level party organizations and over 5.9 million party members in non-public owned enterprises. They have played an irreplaceable role in the business activities and innovation of these companies. Well, in light of the serious impact of COVID-19 on the economy, the Party Central Committee has adopted a coordinated approach in balancing COVID control and economic and social development. While battling the pandemic and protecting people's health and safety, the Party Central Committee has also adopted a series of measures to ensure stability of the economy, such as proactive fiscal policy, prudent monetary policy, and a macro control policy combining cross-cyclical and anti-cyclical measures. And the Party Committee has adopted tax cuts and a fee reduction to help companies alleviate their difficulties. All these measures have strengthened resilience of the Chinese economy. Population or demographic trend is something that is vital for people's well-being. Since the 18th Party Congress, the Central Committee has adopted a series of democratic measures to help people address their livelihood needs.
谢谢。封面新闻记者提问。习总书记在近期举行的中共中央政治局第40次集体学习会议时强调，
The 40th Group Study Session of the Political Bureau, General Secretary Xi Jinping said we need to strengthen the ability to ensure that officials dare not and do not want and cannot be corrupt. And how do you comment on the effect of the anti-corruption campaign since the Party Congress?
The fight against corruption is of huge interest for the people. And this fight is the most thorough kind of self-reform. It is also a critical battle in the great struggle in the new era. Since the 18th Party Congress, under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee, our party has pushed forward the campaign with great determination and the audacity to take the knife to one's own flesh and maintain high pressure on corruption activities. No matter where the official is, in what area he is, no matter he is in office or retired, he will be dealt with if he's engaged in corruption activities. Thus, we have fulfilled the promise that any person, no matter how high his rank is, will be held accountable if he breaches discipline and law. And this has helped us written a new chapter in mankind's fight against corruption. First, we have fully established the overall leadership of the party in fighting corruption. We have strengthened the party's comprehensive leadership of the fight against corruption, covering all procedures and all party members. We have established a work mechanism that features unified leadership of the CPC Central Committee, commanded by party committees at various levels, coordination by discipline inspection and supervision agencies, collaboration by functional agencies, and participation and support by the ordinary people. Through the special strengths of socialism with Chinese characteristics and the leadership of the CPC, we have been able to find a path with Chinese characteristics in fighting corruption. Second, we have laid out the strategy of taking integrated efforts to see that if officials do not have the opportunity, desire, or audacity to commit corruption. This was laid out after the 18th Party Congress, and with we take the fight to greater depths. We will continue to implement the strategy with integrated efforts. That means, as we strengthen party discipline, fight corruption, and improve party conduct, we will advance our work in a coordinated manner, so that officials and members of the party will not dare to commit corruption and do not want to commit corruption. Third, we have been punishing corruption activities with zero tolerance. This has always been the main line in our work. We are working to curb the rise in corruption activities and to deal with existing cases. Whenever a case emerges, it will be dealt with. After the 19th Party Congress, there are 74,000 people who have turned themselves in to relevant agencies across the country. Fourth, we have tightened institutional confinement to prevent corruption. We have formulated the Code for Intra-Party Political Life. Under new circumstances, the Self-Discipline Code and the Regulations for Intra-Party Supervision. We revised twice the Disciplinary Action Regulations and revised the Inspection Work Regulations. We introduced the Supervision Law, the Administrative Punishment to Public Office Holders Law, and revised the Criminal Law and Criminal Procedure Law. This has helped us put in place a sound legal framework to ensure that our rules and regulations have teeth. Fifth, we have been working to build a mental defense line against corruption, with a focus on using the Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era to equip the whole party. We have carried out work to train the mentalities of our party members through party spirit education to strengthen the ideals and conviction and build the mental defense line in their hearts. Six, we have been strengthening regulation and supervision on the exercise of power. Our system reform for the disciplinary and supervision agencies have covered the whole party. Since 2020, we have issued 216,000 supervision advice, and each case could be an example for a large group of people. We are pushing for efforts on all fronts, including identifying problems, pushing for rectification and improvement, and promoting reform and improving systems, so that party members will use their power with integrity and use their power for the benefits of the people. Thank you. Next question. Thank you. Asahi Shimbun. In the third resolution on history, we can see that it says the party is great not because it never makes mistakes, but it always owes up its errors, actively engages in criticism and self-criticism, and has the courage to confront problems and reform itself. In countries like Japan, when the governing party makes mistakes, the nationals can use elections to change and replace the governing party. But in China, the CPC is the only governing party. So specifically, how is the CPC correct its mistakes? And if the CPC Central Committee makes a mistake, is there a mechanism for rectification? Well, thank you for your question. I'm very glad to take it. Only selfless people can be fearless. Only selfless people can maintain integrity, always maintain their integrity. The CPC has no self-interest, but puts the fundamental interest of the people, Chinese people, front and center. This quality has defined that our party dares to confront problems and dares to conduct self-reform. In the past 100 years, our party introduced 3 historical resolutions. The previous 2 focused on clarifying what was right and wrong and rectifying mistakes, including the right divisionist mistake and 3 left divisionist mistakes during the Democratic Revolution, and also including the all-round misstep of Cultural Revolution. The 6th plenary session of the 19th CPC Central Committee made the 3rd historical resolution, which focused on summarizing the major achievements and historical experience in the past 3 years of struggle. We did not evade questions and problems. The major objective is to draw lessons from history. Through a long period of exploration, our party has formulated an effective approach to preventing mistakes and rectifying mistakes. And we have established mechanisms for rational, democratic, and law-based decision-making. Each major decision made by the CPC Central Committee will go through a whole set of procedures to solicit opinions from all sectors of society. For example, when formulating the 14th Five-Year Plan, the CPC Central Committee listened to ideas listened to more than 1 million advice from online. And when we were carrying out work for preparing for the 20th National Congress, we solicited more than 8.5 million advice from netizens during 1 month's time. This advice has provided useful information and reference for the decision-making of the CPC Central Committee to help us identify problems and rectify mistakes in a timely manner. Our party also attaches great importance to criticism and self-criticism. Through regular meetings of party branches, we have allowed our leading officials and party members to carry out self-criticism and criticism on a regular basis to identify their mistakes and areas of improvement. Since the 18th Party Congress, General Secretary Xi Jinping has chaired high-quality meetings of the Political Bureau each year, and leading officials of the Central Committee have taken the lead in identifying areas for improvement. They have set an example for the whole party. At the same time, we have also been working to improve the supervision system for the party and the country, with intra-party supervision as the main pillar. We have also promoting sound coordination among different mechanisms for supervision and ensure lifelong accountability for all officials and organizations. Next question, Red Star News. My question is that in some party organizations, the top officials have a lot of power, and sometimes it is hard to supervise their exercise of power. How will you address this problem?
好，很乐意回答这个问题。近些年查处的腐败分子中，
It is true that some of the corrupted officials which have been dealt with over the past couple of years had misconduct when they were head of the department or local government, but they are the minority and not the mainstream. Honestly speaking, I think it is not the head of the department has a high position, but rather they have high responsibility. They carry the duty of promoting development and reform and ensuring people's safety, and they also exercise leadership over the whole workforce. So they hold primary responsibility for many of these tasks. They need to have a strong sense of responsibility and have the courage to make wise decisions. Given the critical role played by head of department, the party pays special attention to their supervision. You have a all-dimensional, all-encompassing supervisory system over head of department. And we have given top priority to head of department in disciplinary oversight, constraint, daily management, and education. In 2021, the Party Central Committee issued opinions on strengthening the supervision of the head of department and other members of the leadership team, requesting the Party Committee, discipline inspection organs, and administrative organs of the party to strengthen supervision over head of department and form synergy of supervision involving the upper party organizations, members, other members of the leadership team, the members of the public and media. The purpose is to make the head of department get used to working with supervision and exercise power with justice in accordance with law for the people and with the principle of integrity. We also request the head of department to strengthen self-discipline and we ask them to voluntarily, consciously, and readily accept supervision and get used to work and live under supervision and hold the reverence for the party, for the people, and for law, so that they can always keep their political nature as the members of Communist Party. Southern Metropolitan News. We've noticed that over recent years, new forms of business represented by platform economy have emerged, and there are many new groups of people who are taking jobs like couriers and car-hailing drivers. So what is the process of expanding party organization coverage in these areas? Well, thank you for your question, and thank you for your interest in the party building of new business groups. It is true that in recent years, new business forms represented by platform economy has accelerated its growth, and a number of large-scale and influential online platform companies have emerged, and they have become a new engine for China's economic and social development. In these new business sectors, we have many new forms of jobs like courier services, car-hailing drivers, and truck drivers. According to statistics, we have over 200 million people working on flexible jobs. Most of them work on the clouds or on the road. And these people have become a very important part of the day-to-day services we receive. Since last year, the organization department of the Central Party Committee has guided local governments in Beijing, Zhejiang, Shenzhen, and also the Ministry of Transportation to conduct trials or pilot programs on party building in these new forms of businesses and new jobs. And these pilot programs have produced visible results. First, we have expanded the coverage of party organizations in platform companies. To address the problems of platform companies, such as frequent shift of organization structure and irregular setup of party organizations, the regions that are conducting the pilot programs have guided the platform companies to improve their setup of party organizations. For example, optimizing the setup of secondary party organizations and filling the blanks in critical positions so that there will be a consistent organization system running from the top to the bottom. Second, multiple measures have been taken to organize and mobilize party members in these new businesses. Innovative forms and measures have been taken in light of the characteristics of different jobs. For example, those couriers, they work in limited localities, so which is highly consistent with the grid of communities. So we have asked the community centers and platform companies to set up mobile party branches for these party members. And as for car-hailing drivers, we have asked the renting companies to set up mobile party branches to cover these car-hailing drivers, and also ask these people working in the new business to report to their communities and also join labor unions in order to be covered by the local party organizations and branches. Thirdly, we have encouraged the new business communities to get integrated into the primary level party building structure of the city. We have cultivated about 20,000 service centers for these people working in new businesses, so that they can always receive the services of the party branches. Yesterday on CCTV there was a program on the pilot program in Ningbo, which is a very useful practice in this direction. We have also established a mechanism for these party members in the new businesses to voice their appeals and also their demands, and to help them overcome the problems in terms of working environment, benefits, and vocational skills. We have also encouraged party members to lead by example and provide excellent services by setting up vanguard posts, party member responsibility areas, and other services. We have also set up volunteer teams with party members as the backbone, so that they can contribute to community services. Going forward, we will sum up the experience of the pilot programs of various localities and further strengthen the organization system in light of the specific needs, working radius, and characteristics of different business groups, better play the advantage and the strength of their industries and the companies and the localities, so as to further expand the coverage of party organizations in these new businesses. We are still working on this subject, and I hope that we'll continue to receive their interest and attention from the media.
先第二排吧，第二排这位女记者。
谢谢新闻发言人。中新社记者提问，我还是关心一下反腐。那么，如今呢，就大家对于“老虎苍蝇一起打”这句话是耳熟能详。那刚才王部长也介绍了一些数据，我想了解，针对老百姓反应强烈的腐败以及不正之风等问题，究竟是采取了哪些措施以纠治，让更多人感受到公平正义？谢谢。
issue of corruption and unhealthy practices that people feel strongly about. How can we make people feel that their justice is upheld? Thank you for your question. The Communist Party of China is a party that wholeheartedly serves the people. Since the 18th Party Congress, the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at the core has seriously dealt with all issues that people feel strongly about and resolutely redressed the conduct that damage people's interests. The Party Central Committee has taken on the issue of corruption and unhealthy practices that affect people's daily life, so that the people will feel the efforts taken by the party and further strengthen their trust and endorsement of the party. First, issues that undermine people's interest in livelihood areas. We have overhauled and addressed the problems of so-called mini-corruption cases involving people's daily life, such as education, medical care, old age insurance, social security, ecological preservation, workplace safety, drug and food safety. Since the 19th Party Congress, or as of the end of April this year, a total of 496,000 cases of corruption and unhealthy practices in livelihood areas have been dealt with, and 456,000 people have been given disciplinary punishment. Second, problems in poverty alleviation and rural revitalization. We take poverty alleviation as a major task of political supervision. We have carried out inspection tour on dealing with corruption and problems of unhealthy practices in the area of poverty alleviation. We have launched a special campaign of supervision for the transition period from poverty reduction to rural revitalization. In the 3 years between 2018 and 2020, 280,000 cases have been dealt with. 188,000 people have been given disciplinary punishment. And in 2021, on corruption and unhealthy practice cases involving the transition from poverty reduction to rural revitalization, 19,000 cases have been dealt with, and 17,000 people have been punished. And this year alone, 11,000 cases have been investigated and 11,000 people have been given disciplinary punishment. Third area is corruption, or the connection between corruption and gang protection. We have combined the efforts of cracking down on gang organizations and investigating corruption at the primary level, and also combined the efforts with the overhaul of the law and order department. As of the end of April this year, 101,000 cases in this area have been dealt with. 92,000 people have been given disciplinary punishment, including 12,000 people have been transferred to procuratorial departments, and about 200 cases involving gang organizations and the protective umbrella behind them have been dealt with, including the well-known case of Sun Xiaoguo in Yunnan province. In the meantime, we have followed up on the case investigation and handling, leverage the deterring role and function of case investigation so as to achieve more effective results in combating corruption. The fourth area is a long-term mechanism for primary level supervision. We have ensured on-the-ground supervision of primary level government officials, and so that the people will get a stronger sense of gains, happiness, and security. In the interest of time, we will allow one final question.
Thank you, Beijing News Daily. I have two questions. First, about old party members. Last year, the CPC Central Committee for the first time issued a commemorative medal for 50 years of party membership, and it was widely applauded. Will this continue this year? At the same time, we have noticed that since the 18th Party Congress, each year the newly recruited party members have more than 80% of party members under the age of 35. What measures have been made in attracting young people into the party? Thank you for your interest in the work and life of our old party members and also our work on young party members. As we celebrated the centenary of the party last year, the CPC Central Committee for the first time issued the commemorative medal for 50 years of party membership. At a total of 7.293 million qualified old party members were given the medals. This was widely applauded across the party and society. Last year, the organization department issued guidelines on the commemorative medal. This has established a regular issuance mechanism. And according to the provisions, For old party members that have served in the party for more than 50 years and have consistently shown good performance will receive the medal, and each year there will be a grouped issuance at the July the 1st, and in special occasions, if with the approval of party committees above the county level, the medals can be issued on case-by-case matter. And at the beginning of this year, we have made arrangements for this year's issuance, and relevant localities and departments are carrying out this work in an orderly manner. We look forward to your coverage of relevant issuance work. Especially, we hope you will cover the touching activities and history of those recipients of medals who have devoted their life to the cause of the party. So that is about the commemorative medal. You also mentioned the issue of recruiting young people into the party. After the 18th Party Congress, focusing on passing on the baton of striving for national renewal, our party have attached great importance to recruiting young people into the party. Each year we receive new applicants, about 4 million new applications to join the party, and among them, each year more than 80% of the newly recruited party members have the age of below 35. So in the work, we have been strengthening political guidance. We have used awareness programs, publicity programs, and tours at education base for history of the party to guide young people to learn the new theories of the party, to feel the original aspiration and founding mission of the party, to deepen their understanding about the party, and to strengthen their attachment to the party. The centenary of the party, the organization department, organized oath-taking activities at the exhibition museum for history of the Communist Party. More than 1,000 newly recruited party members attended the event. At the same time, we have also attached importance to strengthen education and cultivation in key areas. We are focusing on young workers, farmers, students, high-end talents, and people newly employed to identify and to cultivate potential candidates. Third, we have been committed to testing people who are eager to join the party in practices. During the fight against COVID-19, many medical staff born in 1990s and 2000s and volunteers at the front line have expressed their strong will to join the party, and more than 8,200 people joined the party on the front line. At the same time, we have taken political qualities as the most important standard. We have used strict standards, strict procedures, strict discipline, so that newly recruited party members can be tested through strict intra-party life. And this has allowed us to recruit outstanding young people into the party and to maintain the vigor of our party. Thank you very much. That concludes our press conference today. Thank you to you all.